Hello, everyone. So, today I wanted to discuss some books about Greek mythology. Um, don't be scared about these many books. I won't discuss each and every one of them. My reviews or recommendations are already getting too long, I feel. So, let's start with this one Devdutt Patnaik, Olympus, an Indian retelling of the Greek myths. So, this is the most basic, I would say, book that I would recommend to any lay person who just wants to who is just starting out about Greek mythology, who has no idea about Greek mythology, like I did. I knew very few stories, maybe about just how cruel the sky god Zeus was, and maybe something about Hercules' 12 labors, and yeah, I don't remember. And Medusa, of course, the serpent lady, and yeah, that's all I knew really about Greek myths. But increasingly, after studying, Indian mythology, or Puran Shastra or Akhyan Shastra, you can say in Hindi, um I really got to understand that how myths actually shape major storytelling traditions across civilizations. So Greek mythology and Greek culture has been the bedrock of Western civilization for so long. So I thought it would be best to just go through what are the basic stories of the Greek culture, of the Greek mythos. And I don't know. I thought it was quite relevant because Greek stories and Greek characters, maintain their relevance even today. They were reinterpreted, you can say, in Roman times. Then today in English times also. Even political systems also derive themselves from Greek culture mostly, and the names of the planets and the moons, these are all from Greek and Roman mythologies. So somehow there is that impact also, but the most singular, I would say, impact that this Greek reading of Greek mythology has given me is the lesson about, first of all, the polytheistic society that was there then, before the advent of monotheistic religions and cultures like Christianity, Judaism. But mostly, I mean to say this proselytizing monotheist religions. Um, Even in Indian traditions, also, when everything was bound up into one religion. I think there is a term also in to describe the Indian phenomena, the Hindu phenomena, where the ultimate principle is considered to be just one, and all other 33 crore gods are just seen as either versions or illusions of the same god, or the god principle. I think what was there's some strange name. I think henotheistic, maybe, that there are multiple gods but one is the supreme, something like that. But you get the picture that the Greek mythos is very polytheistic. The gods are very human in their behavior. They are greedy, they are liars, they are sometimes very praiseworthy, but they are all too human. And if they are reinterpreted, or not reinterpreted, if they are interpreted as the realms of one's psyche, one's mind, and a psychological interpretation of the Greek mythology, then it lends to some fascinating conclusions about how Greeks used to see themselves. So maybe they saw this the god of the war bit among the gods as among their own different viewpoints, among their own feelings, and uh, I mean, they were. This is my understanding, that they used to see life as much more chaotic, inherently chaotic, and so the one lesson that I think I learned from Greek mythology was never be in hubris, never get arrogant, because the gods will strike you down, not because of some sin that you committed, but it's better to stay humble. That's the, I think, the most important lesson I learned. Um Other than that, the stories are very interesting. In India, we in Hindu tradition we have the great epics Mahabharata and Ramayana, and you can say the similar, the duo of epics is the Iliad and the Odyssey in Greek mythology. So I thought I must know at least basic myths about them. So this book, why I'm recommending this to everyone who, especially to Indians, and maybe to foreigners also, because this is about Greek mythology, but it's an Indian retelling. Why this is so interesting? Because somehow I think the author has covered almost all of the basic myths and characters from Greek mythology, and and he also, after ending each topic, he gives a Indian perspective on that. Indian perspective in the sense what was happening in India at that time, and if there is some corollary to the story that was discussed in Greek mythology to Indian mythology. So he has a very brilliant, compare and contrast going on in each chapter, in each character. So, for example, the story of Hercules is very, very similar to the story of early Krishna in Indian mythology. So, why is this so? Because there was a time where Indo Greeks were ruling the northern part of India some 2000 years ago, and it is quite possible that there was some cross cultural phenomena going on. Trade was already going on, so maybe these stories fed on each other. So, it's just speculation, but it's really fascinating. And the diagrams, as always, Mr. Devdutt Patnaik is so this author is he illustrates his own work, and some people don't like his artwork, but I'm a fan of it, because um, I'm also, one of my hobbies is some sketching and drawing, but I know how hard it is to quickly make a anatomically correct sketch, and with few pen strokes only to depict, like he has shown a Indian Indian version of Pandora. Pandora's box story, Pandora's jar, and so very nicely shown, like an Indian in Indian attire. So yeah, this is the punishment. It should be Sisyphus, no, not Tartarus was the place where he was punished. Okay, so yeah, Sisyphus going up the hill with the uh, boulder. So yeah, so this book is basically for those people who want some comparative and historical perspective also. See here also, for example, he also discusses um, the literary evolution of how these epics were formed. Some historical perspective also is given. So yeah, this is, I think, so this is the basic Greek mythology for everyone. Now let's move on to this collection. This Stephen Fry's. It's a four-parter, and the fourth part will come, I think, in the coming weeks, in September or October. It's named Odyssey. So the Iliad part is covered in this book, the Troy, which I got to know. Okay, that another name for Troy was Ilium, based on the king Ilium. Ilium, and Ilium, Iliad. So that's what the name means. And mythos is about the early gods, from the beginning of the Greek mythology, you can say. And heroes, some main characters throughout Greek mythology have been discussed, and Troy is the story of that Iliad war. And this is the paperback edition, so this is a nice touch to the cover. This one and this one especially, heroes, very beautiful. Somehow it's not there in the Troy edition. I had ordered this from Amazon, but I don't know why. Okay, so why this one? Why these books also? Because first of all, this also has some beautiful color pages about the characters. This is the Iphigenia's sacrifice. I think Agamemnon's daughter was sacrificed. Um, Abduction of Helen, Odysseus feigns madness, the Cassandra's painting. I think these are very well known paintings, but they paint a picture in your mind about these characters. And then I think these are some Renaissance period paintings, so these are obviously very very beautiful to look at. And yeah, it's one of my dreams to be able to paint like this someday, or even sculpt like this. Look at that. The Judgment of Paris. Is it Paris or Paris? I don't know. Yeah, very beautiful. So this is one reason. Another reason is that this style of writing of Stephen Fry, very dialogic and very simple, and also uh, he uses a lot of etymology. Etymology means study of this root words. So after discussing some story, he also mentions that okay, this word came from this and this, and today we use this word like this, or today we use this concept like this, I think not Aegean. So Aegean Sea, where does it get its name from? So things like that. So there are very nice trivia. So that's discussed here. It's also discussed in Olympus also, but why I'm recommending these bulky books then? Because I'm not recommending the book per se. I'm recommending Stephen Fry's narration on audiobook, on Audible. So if it's possible for you guys, so please, I mean, I would say if and when you get a Audible subscription, listen to this man's wonderful narration of these stories. um, I bought the books later, but I heard the audio versions, and they are just beautiful. I mean, his narration style is just mind-boggling. So that's the only reason I'm recommending Stephen Fry's novels. Otherwise, the basic stuff you can find in this book only. And if you want to go in detail, also that was also one of the reasons I wanted to know some more about this. So yeah, but personally I would say, yeah, just buy 1 month 2 month subscription of Audible. This will cost you, I think it will cost you cheaper, and it will be much more fun. Yeah. And the another book on Greek mythology was Circe by Madeline Miller. And I don't know if I would recommend this to someone who has absolutely no idea about Greek mythology, because I think you need maybe basic knowledge, or maybe not, because it's told in a very simplistic manner. The cover page itself is very beautiful. This is a paperback edition, and very beautiful. The print is good. Everything is brilliant. And the book is not that big also. And the genius of this author is that she chose a character which I think personally it's not very well received, very well understood, maybe deliberately maligned character, Circe. And she uses her to fulcrum the whole Greek stories, many Greek stories. So yeah, it was a fascinating read. Very told very simply. I mean, again, you won't need any dictionary. It's very simple English, and very emotional also, but great storytelling, I think, for modern audiences. So that's why I'm saying that I think personally it would be better if one reads this book. You will get a basic understanding about every Greek myth character. And yeah, this is the Trojan horse. Very nice diagram. And then if you want to go in detail, then you can buy these type of books which are character centric. Another book by the same author was by the name Song of the Achilles, I think. Song of the Achilles, I think. Yeah. And let me see, what was it? Is it not mentioned here? Yeah, the Song of the Achilles. So I think this was what brought her major fame. Yeah. But this is the recent book. I have not read this one, the Song of the Achilles. It's again it will be about the Trojan War. But yeah, these books I think should come later on. Another book recently released was Medusa. I forgot the name of the author, but again, it's character centric, and yeah, if you read even Stephen Fry's edition, and then I mean, I never really understood why Medusa was seen as a villainess in Greek mythology. Her story is, to me, it's one of the most tragic stories. Uh, matlab, always thought she was a, very cool villain character, aesthetically speaking. A strong warrior with snakes as her hair, and she can petrify anyone she sees. I mean, it's a strong villain character, and the only photo that I had seen was her head. She was beheaded by Perseus, but and Perseus was then celebrated as a hero. But after reading this Greek mythology, I never quite understood what was the main reason behind her being so maligned. And anyway, that's Greek mythology. So yeah, this please read these Greek mythologies. Read this one, hear this one, and then if you are interested in Greek mythology, which I think you will be, then you can go for more specialized, more character driven stories or retellings. Okay, thank you. Happy reading.